Hey guys, welcome back to the Chroma side of YouTube. We're in my art studio, and I know this is very impromptu, and most of you will probably watch the playback, but I have been really behind on posting videos and editing, and I've had trouble with my what do you call it? Phone saving videos and stuff. So I had videos in the queue to, what do you call that? I had videos in the queue to post, but I can't get them edited because I have no room, and I'm really just frustrated with the whole doggone thing. So now I have to figure out a different way to video, hence going live. And I have had a few people ask me how I was doing, where I've been, and quite frankly, I have been teaching classes, you guys. I'm so excited. Actually, one of my subscribers, Charissa, is a really good friend of mine, and she's been taking a lot of pour classes from me because we happen to be from the same town. So, hi Charissa, hi Jess, hi Lindbergh, and everybody else in that household. I hope you guys are having a good day, and can't wait to see you guys again. So what am I doing? I am taking an old pour that I did, and I just haven't been really happy with. Every time I look at it, it just doesn't give me that joy. And so I have taken a charcoal pencil, and I don't know if you can see, but I have sketched out a couple of roses and a very large leaf that looks like it's coming at you, because that's what I see when I look at this pour that just didn't make me happy. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do a little redactive painting on this pour, and I'm just going to sit and talk to you guys while I do it. And I will definitely change the thumbnail of this live to the finished piece when we're done, because I don't know if we'll get through the whole thing on this live. It's probably going to be a pretty long live as is. Now, saying all that, the reason why I saw flowers and stuff was originally when I looked at this painting, these lines here that happened when I was torching gave me that big leaf vibe. But I didn't want to lose all my oranges and speckles here because I really loved that. So, add a flower. There's always, what do you call it? There's always like different colors in the buds of flowers. So I figured that would be great. Now I'm going to keep my color palette very extremely simple because we've already got a bunch of color on the canvas with the pour. But I am going to let you guys check that out. As you can see, my flower kind of overhangs the edge, and over here my leaf is going to overhang the edge. So because, I'll let you guys see that. Hi, what's up? Anyway, because our pores overhang the edge, I'm going to make my sketch overhang that edge as well. Because I just want it to match just a little bit. So I'm just bringing those petals up, and I'm going to make those petals overhang the edge when I paint this. So if you, whoop, oh, can you see? Oh, yep, there you go. So you can see that the petals are going to overhang the edge. I'm going to do the same thing. Nope, that's the other side. I'm going to do the same exact thing here. I'm going to make this leaf here. I don't know if you can even see the leaf because it's in the dark area. So there's the petal, there's the stem, and there's another leaf that's going to come this way. So keeping my color palette simple and to the point, my flowers are going to be blue roses, and my background is going to be a dark blue. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have very much of this color, which if I had this whole tube, I would make the entire background this blue, which is called Deep Midnight Blue by Deco Art Americana. And then this would be the inside of my flowers, and I'm going to dry brush the inside to bring the, I'm just going to lightly use this, probably water it down just a little bit, just to bring out some shadows and let the colors that are existing there play with each other. Now that being said, this is the color that I will use for that, but I'm also going to use this one, which is processed cyan. These are 3 different color blues. These 2 are very similar, but this one's just a smidge darker than this one. I'm probably gonna mix all 3 of these together to try and stretch this dark one for my background color, because I really want those flowers and leaves to pop out. For the flowers and leaves, I'll be using a deep emerald by Artist Loft, and I'll also be using a sap green to pop and do the vines and shading on the leaves. And that's the only 2 colors I'm going to use, because if you look at this, those colors are already existing in this painting already. So when you embellish your pour, you want to kind of go with what is there already, I guess. You want to enhance what you've done. And I think by embellishing the pour, that's what's going to make it great. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put down this, a good glob of that. Put down a good glob of that. Yeah, a good glob. And then I'm going to try and get some out of this. Oh yeah, I'm going to try and use all of that. And then I'm going to take a nice wide brush. I don't know if I want to use that one. No. This one to begin with. It's a flat brush. You should always, okay, so I've heard that you should always mix your paint with a palette knife and never your brush. But honestly, you guys, I'm self-taught and I always mix with my brush. Plus, I don't really mind if there's different colorations in there. You know, like if a little bit of that dark blue doesn't mix 100% and then there's streaks, I don't really mind. I think it adds to the painting. Oh yeah, that's a very nice dark blue. All right, here we go. So I have my sketch done. Again, I did that with a charcoal pencil. And I'm just gonna fill in my background. So I almost thought about adding black to this mixture to really make it dark. And I still may, and in fact, I think I will, because it's very, it's not as dark as I wanted it. Let me show you. All right, so I'm gonna go run over here. I'm gonna grab a little bit of my Vallejo black liquid fluid acrylic. Always shake your fluid acrylic before you squeeze it, because Lord knows it's, what do you call it? It separates. Well, that got more black than anything, but that's okay. I guess this was just destined to have a extremely dark black background. I'm okay with it. I always tell people, just be okay with your artwork. Whatever it gives you, it gives you. I think that's the difference between me and some people though, because like because I started out doing acrylic pours, I am really like a go with the flow kind of artist. Flow, get it? Versus someone who like will sit here and mix tons and tons and tons of paint. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do a quick squirt, see how it works out, and if it worked out, then good to go. I mean, it does kind of look like a blue-black, but oh well, go with the flow, right? So, this is why I love square brushes like this, flat brushes, because you can get like you can use the corner and get a really fine point, really fine line, or you can use it flat and get like a really wide territory. This will probably take 2 coats, and I'm fine with that too. That's why I mixed up so much. This is very therapeutic. So, what have I been up to? Well, big things are coming. I have been teaching classes and just being good to my family. And I feel like taking care of your family dynamic is very important. And that's pretty much what I've been doing. I've been hanging out a lot with my sisters and my mother and making new friends. Also, I don't know if I've let you guys all know, I joined the Rock Mart Rotary, which is really, really, it really is gratifying when you can give back to your community and do good for that community, because if I don't have a lot of money. I can't just donate money and, do good that way. But if I can help by cleaning up a park or designing a fountain, then so be it. That's what I'm going to do. Because I feel like doing good for your community and making sure that your community is taken care of, then that's really the important thing. A good sense of community. And also, Wes, my hubby bubby, my man, he has been super active. He's done a Rock Mart podcast, and it's all about the history and the goings on in Rock Mart and the people who live here, and it's very fascinating. There are things that I just didn't know about Rock Mart, so I'm very in it. And it's just one of those things, you just have a good time. So back to the art. Why did I choose to sketch with a charcoal pencil? Because charcoal wipes off. If you don't use a fixative, charcoal wipes off. And so your sketch lines will be there for your painting, but you can wipe it down with just a wet washcloth and it will disappear. Your sketch lines will disappear, which is the goal here. I don't want people to see my sketch lines. It's like my underpants. So what have you guys been watching? Because homie needs a new show to watch. Wes and I binged The Mandalorian, and it was great. Then we binged the Book of Boba, and again, it was great. But now we're looking for something to watch. So if you guys have any suggestions, please leave it in the comment below. I want to know what everybody's watching. I want to watch too, have a conversation about it. So I wanted to shout out my social medias because apparently I don't do that enough. And also, I'm going to shout out my studio. My studio is called Chroma Storm Arts, just like my channel. And it, good Lord, I can't speak today. English is tough. My studio's been doing pretty well, you guys. I'm really excited about it. Concentration. Okay. My studio's been doing pretty well. Just, you know, working hard, doing the do, and living the dream. And that, my dear friends, is the American dream right there. But I stink at social media. I really do. And I know this. I mean, and people look at me and they go, how can you be a YouTuber and stink at social media? I just do. I stink at social media. So Charissa, my friend and confidant, and she says, you need to start doing more videos. And I'm like, yo, I just don't have space to edit. And so this is why I'm doing lives. And I wish that I really could edit better, get back into it, because I really enjoyed it, honestly. I remember enjoying doing the speed up and the things of that nature. You guys can kind of see the picture coming through, huh? Now that we've redacted a lot of that stuff. So I love redactive painting. It's really fun to kind of carve out your image here. And roses are the best for this because, quite frankly, they don't have to be perfect. You know, like their petals, they're not perfect. They're never perfect. I just got done teaching a class. Really lovely student named Tiffany. We did a ring pour class and it was fabulous. She did fantastic. Fantastic ring pour. People always ask me, oh, well, what do you teach after you've taught? I'm like, dude, you just don't get it. There are so many pour techniques. I could teach you 1.5 million times and it'd still be great. Ooh, yes. I don't know, maybe I can get away with not doing a secondary coat. I'm not sure. But again, remember we talked about finishing the flower over the edge? Well, I'm doing the same for the leaves because our pours wrap the canvas. So if we do our embellishments like this, and this is like a different kind of embellishment. This is like an actual painting embellishment. Our embellishments need to wrap the canvas as well so that they all match. Now, do you know what I forgot? Water in a cup. But that's okay because I just did a pour class. So, cup, water. Okay. Now, while this outside is drying, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick a brush with a smaller tip. And I'm gonna try and use the same dark, well, no, because that's really dark. So I'm probably gonna squirt some of this on the side here. There we go. And I'll mix in as I need. But, so you can see, this is my palette here. So I have all this dark here, and then I have a little here. And that is actually gonna help me out a lot because if I need that for a secondary coat, I still have it. So I mixed it in, and now I'm gonna wipe most of the paint off of my brush, and I'm just gonna touch it in there very lightly. Now, I should probably try and bring you close, but you're on my ring light stand. So you see how I'm following my guidelines. And then my shadows are gonna be coming from here. So, and again, I can do this because my shadows or my petals my what do you call it, leaves are not even. So I just wet that a little bit and then I rub it with my finger and that creates a shadow. So get a little tiny bit of paint on there, okay? And let's go around this one. All right, and I'm gonna go up a little bit right here to signify that there is another petal there. I'm gonna go up a little bit here. I'm gonna wet down my brush a little bit, wipe it completely off, and then wet here, and take my finger and run it along, kind of smooshy it in, smooshy, smooshy mooshy. And then there is another petal. And that's how I'm going to define this rose, because like I told you before, the, what do you call it? The charcoal is gonna wipe off. So really the shadows are gonna identify where that rose is and all of its petals. So wherever the flower overlaps, right? That's where you're gonna shade. And that's gonna show people where your rose is. Sometimes you wet it, sometimes you don't. Really depends on how much you want that shadow to show up. And you just do this a little at a time until your entire rose is shadowed in and what do you call it? Popped off the canvas. I don't do a lot of this kind of painting on this channel because I feel like it takes too long and people don't like it. Well, I don't know if people don't like it because I've never done it. But tell me if you think it's boring. That's what I'm getting at. Tell me if you think this video is boring. Well, I don't know, just be nice about it. Just be nice about it. But I did have a lot of people who loved my No Canvas, No Problem series. And then I had a lot of people who asked me about how to embellish pores. So, again, what do you call it? I'm actually kind of doing this for them. I think I did. Beautiful. It's so beautiful. So I'm just continuing on. And I just follow that one petal with my brush and then rub it in. My brush was a little wet, so I didn't have to wet it in between, and so you'll feel the difference. When you'll know when you need to wet it and when you don't need to wet it. So just like you draw them, you just kind of do one petal at a time. And then probably just need to wet that just a little bit. When I do wet the brush, I literally use my hand to squeeze as much of that water out as I can. You don't want to like swamp this down with water so that you can then use your finger to blend it out. And also, if you use too much water, it's going to bead up on the canvas and it's not going to give you the shaded effect that you want. Now what I'm doing is I am actually adding more of the lighter blue in there because we are getting to the outside of the, what is that called? Rose. And the petals that touch the dark part of the background, I want to still be shaded, but I don't want them to match the background. So I am making it a lot lighter. Squeeze out that water, and then I'm just gonna wet that line I just made. And then I'm gonna take my finger and rub it in, rub it in, rub it in. I'm not a fan of that particular shading, so I will take a dry brush, a dry, soft brush, the same shape, and I'm just gonna rub it And that should remove a lot of that excess water and also place that paint where you wanted it again. Now it's shading the way I wanted it. So troubleshoot, troubleshoot. Keep that guy handy. So let me show you what I've got going so far. So you can see that shaded rose is really starting to pop out now. A little bit of that light color blue instead of the dark color blue. So the show that I just got done watching was Trial by Media. I don't know if I've talked about this on the channel, but I am a true crime watcher. I love to watch documentaries and things about true crime. And just, I don't know why, but I get sucked in. It's like drama. Like, who did it? Da, da, da. Again, I'm not a fan of that. Let me show you why. So you see how all of them are blended and this one here is not blended at all? I'm just gonna take my dry brush and try and blend it out. Beautiful. And don't worry, we're gonna crisp up that line that we created when we did the background. We're gonna crisp that up with a smaller brush here in a little bit. So I literally just dry brushed around the edge. Keep holding it upside down for you, but I just dry brushed around the edge, and now you can see that that rose is now more prominent, and it's a little more prominent what we're doing here. And I still have the colors that we had, what we had going before. They're just enhanced into what we wanted. Excuse me, not Corona. Anyway, now I'm gonna turn this upside down for me, right side up for you guys. And I'm gonna work on this rose. Again, we are still waiting on this background to dry so that we can, what do you call it? Good googly moogly, what are we waiting on? So we could do a secondary coat with the darker color. There I go, concentrating again. I always concentrate and then I forget that I'm supposed to be talking. Do, 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 do. I want to see the Uncharted movie. Has anybody seen that yet? I really want to see that. My boyfriend plays those games all the time, and even asked for the box set of one of them for Christmas, and was really happy when he got it. But he when they came out with the movie, I was like so excited because I watched him play it all the time. I don't play it because I'm stinky at video games, but I watch him play all the time. And yeah, I'm excited to watch the movie. But it'll be hard not, if I go to the theater, it'll be hard not to be like, I told you to go left. Any girlfriend who watches a boyfriend play that knows what I'm talking about. Babe, it's over there. You missed it again. I can't believe you missed it again. Gosh. You guys are going to be like, you crazy woman. I can't believe you pulled through on this one. And always remember, we're wrapping the sides because in the poor world, we like the sides wrapped. And I'm honestly, literally just going around the flower, just like I would do if I were sketching the flower. And I'm holding my brush extremely loose because the more wobble you have to these petals, the better it looks. And I also wobble my finger when I'm smudging these petals. I had to move it more toward me so that I could smudge the outside. And then if I don't like the smudge, I'll take my dry brush and just kind of smudge it out some more. Smudge, smudge. I don't want a harsh line. I hope you guys are interested. If I see the stats and you guys are not, then I'll know not to make another video like this. Okay. I was actually looking over here to see if I had a fluffier brush, but I do not. This one will have to do. Mhm. Now I am taking my blue, the darkest blue, and I'm making a shadow behind this leaf. Okay? And, well, I do want to soften that shadow just a little bit. Okay? And because there is a shadow there, I'm back to the darkest. The darkest for this particular petal. Because this particular petal runs behind the leaf. Don't you know? So I made it much darker and I am blending it all in. So you see how I did that? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I'm just gonna keep building this flower. Now, need a little of the light, a lot of the light. Make light blue for the outside ridges here. That was a lot of paint, but I can still make it work. And again, we're even shading the edges here. And again, I'm gonna have to take the dark one again, and then that will go under this flower petal here. Because that now becomes a shadow where the flowers overcross. There we go. Now, I'm gonna rinse this brush. It's got a lot of stuff on it. 2 roses and 2 leaves. Now, I think that this should be dry enough, in certain areas at least, to do a secondary coat. Of this dark black color. And to mop up some places where I might have missed. Right here needs to be a lot straighter. Let's see. I've got a smaller flat brush here. Go ahead and get some of that dark color on there. Pretty. So I always tell people, just keep looking at your pores. If you're not happy with them, make them into something else. And that's exactly, either make them into something else or pour over them. I very rarely pour over pores anymore though. I used to pour over top of them. And then I thought to myself, no, because then I'm missing an artistic opportunity to flex my creative mind and come up with different ideas that would be problem solving. Plus, there's no silicone in this one, so I could actually potentially put this under resin and really make those colors pop, which I probably will do. Which is why I'm like, oh, let me get this finished because I have a round of resin I have to pour anyway. I do a lot of squishy coasters. You guys remember my squishies on the Yupo. I have a lot of squishy coasters where I really, what do you call that? I really hate wasting paint, especially if it's on the table, so I'll squishy it as many times as I can and then make jewelry out of the leftovers, which is really fun. And again, I'm sorry if I get really quiet about when I'm going into the in a minute, we're gonna go in with the greens. But overall, this is turning out exactly how I pictured. So, super happy with it. I'm gonna drop all of my paint. Okay. Okay, now. So now you can see my vision. You can see the sideways laying leaf, the big leaf that's coming up in front of the two roses. And then you see my roses just kind of chilling and popping there with all their different colors in them. And I'm really excited about it. I mean, it looks really, really, really pretty. I'm gonna take my charcoal pencil because I forgot to map out my big leaf line. Yep, I got it. And then my small leaf line is gonna be, yep, okay. Now, let's see. Got me another palette because I don't want to mix my blues with my greens. Sap green and dark green, which is not open. Okay, now I'm gonna take a dry brush of this dark green, just get it in there, and then I'm just gonna dry brush the, what do you call it, the vein, the main vein of the leaf. And I think I want to take a fluffy one and really burnish that color into the middle. Because remember, it's all shadows. We don't really want to like just put dark lines in there. Oh, do that outside. I've been preaching that this whole time. And it's easier just to do it while you're doing it. There we go. And we're gonna do the exact same thing with this sap green. I'm not even cleaning off my brush. I'm just getting a little bit of it on there, and then I'm just gonna paint some lines here. I'm not trying to be perfect because, you know, nature isn't perfect. I get a little dab of that one, put it up there, a little tiny dab of that one too, put it up there, go back and forth, and then I wipe it off as much as I can. And then I can very lightly paint it on. Tipped a little bit of water in there, make it flow a little better. And then we take our dry brush, our dry fluffier brush, and we just blend it in. And we just continue this until we like our leaf. And the best part is, because the pour is there, we've already got texture in the painting. We don't have to do very much. let's take a look at what we've done. Now, this is how I do it. You don't have to do it this way. You can do whatever you want. But to me, that looks really cool. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's a pour, but it's more. So, I'm gonna take some of this black here that I've got left over from the background. I'm gonna add it to this here, this dark color. I'm actually gonna make a little bit of a dark green. Maybe add a little bit of the sap in there. Like a super dark green. And then I'm gonna clean off my brush as much as I can. This side is darker than that side, so I'm just gonna make it prominently darker. And then I'm also going to take and dry brush into the bud there. And I'm gonna take and dry brush into the bud there. Take a smaller one to do that dry brushing. There we go. I think I want to do it again around her. And use the smaller one that I just used to dry brush that. Oh yeah, that's nice. Do it again here. And then really yes, that's nice. That's nice. Now, so you can see that I'm adding dimension as I go by adding shades and what do you call it? Shadows here and there. I think I need a little bit of that darker color here. Oh, thank you, Andrew. It's nice to see you. I didn't think anybody was in. This is such an unplanned, this was such an unplanned live. I just was bored. I've got to figure out how to get extra storage for my products, my iPhone and my tablet, so I can do more videoed content instead of just lives here that I've been doing recently. So, what is new with you all? Leave it in the comment. Like I said, I'm really interested to hear what you guys have been up to. I'm gonna get a smaller brush. And I'm just putting lines, literally just random lines. I'm just putting them in there, even on the dark side. On the dark side. Dun, 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 dun. This is not the rose you are looking for. Okay, so as you can see, I just put a bunch of lines on that, and I made the one side nice and dark, so from back here it just looks like it's kind of tilted like that, and it has some shading. I also deepened the stem color here and gave it a little bit of a shadow on this side, so it looks like it's kind of tilted this way. So I'm wondering if I should hang it like this or like this. Although my vision, I saw it like this. But you can see the rose wraps, the leaves wrap, because this is a pour. We want it to, whatever the embellishment is, we want it to wrap the thing. So I am well over an hour on this, and I just wanted to show you what I would do with a pour that I just don't necessarily love. Now, this is something that I like. I like the whimsical looks. I like the easier roses. I like the more abstract looking things, but you could most certainly embellish your pours with any photos, anything that you have that just really stands out to you. And also, I've seen people pull beautiful photos like horses splashing through water and just all kinds of stuff out of their pours. So don't discourage yourself. I just kind of thought of the colors when I was choosing the image that I wanted to paint. But you do you, boo. And that is the name of the game here, is to you do you. Don't overthink it. Have fun embellishing. And like I said, when this dries and I get it all varnished, I will change the thumbnail to a picture of this painting. I hope you guys were inspired by this, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. It was really nice to see you all. And I hope you guys do something for yourself and go paint a painting. Enjoy yourself, get quiet, get concentrated like I did. I'm sorry I didn't talk so much in the end of that video, but you know how we all are when we go to our happy place. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for stopping by. Bye-bye, y'all.